big lock at Lower Lode near Tewkesbury in Gloucestershire, a haven for boats and mammoth pike, and the man to catch 'em is Birmingham's John Sidley. John, what's the pike fishing been like on the Severn so far this season?
Quite well, Norman. Been fishing quite well.
Yeah. Any sizable fish showing you?
I'm calling a dive pike up to £22 have come off the weir.
That's not bad, is it? I mean, that's a fairly big pike anywhere, isn't it?
That's tremendous.
Yeah.
£22.
I noticed the old dredgers at work in the background. What exactly is that doing here?
Oh, they're clearing the silt from the bed of the river from the winter to allow the grain barges to come up.
Of course, we get a lot of pleasure boats up here as well, don't we?
Oh yes, tremendous in the
Do you find that they affect the fishing? Is that dredger likely to affect our sport today, do you reckon?
Yeah, I think it'll shove them out the canal, out this canal system, and into the whirlpool.
Into the main river there. Of course, you just mentioned the weir. The Tewkesbury Weir is pretty famous. It's a pretty big one. Any idea how old it is and why it was built?
I think it's 100 years plus old.
Yeah.
And it was built to higher the water levels on the Lower Severn to allow the grain barges and heavy boat traffic to get upriver.
Yeah. Because the Severn has always been a main carrier for commercial traffic, hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I noticed as we were walking up, there's an awful lot of work going on behind us here on the lock. What on earth are they doing?
Yes, they're repairing the lock gates and the lock walls. Again, that's suffered through the winter frosts, has cracked it, and it's all been repaired now.
Well, it's gone a bit quiet with the dredger over there. I wonder if they're packing up to go and have lunch, in which case I reckon we ought to go fishing.
Lovely.
Okie dokie, John, let's... Do you know, this is one of the most awkward banks from which I've ever entered a boat. Right, there we go. Start handing the gear. And the gear for pike fishing is basically simple but varied. Summer piking can mean artificial plugs and spinners, or it might have to cope with live and deadbait fishing. Rods need to be strong, though flexible. Reels, usually a fixed spool or multiplier, of high quality, and lines tough enough for the biggest fish. What's the biggest pike that's ever been caught on this water, John?
Well, the biggest I've ever heard of is the pike angler Chris Binman.
Yeah.
He told me in conversations we've had together he's had one of £30.
That's a very big fish. Of course, I fished with Chris in Ireland. We had some great fun on Loch Beg.
Yeah.
Okay, there? And we're off. But 30 is a very, very big pike, isn't it, anywhere?
It is, yeah, especially for a river as well, you know.
Yeah.
Places like the Wye expect to see the 30s, and the Hampshire Ave and places like that, you know.
Because you fish down here pretty often. Any idea how many double-figure fish you've had off this water?
Altogether, I should imagine 200, a good 200 double-figure pike.
200 double figures? That's quite remarkable, isn't it? Do you find that nowadays you prefer river piking?
I like the fighting ability of the river pike. With the still water fish, they seem to... Well, you just can't compare them like
Yeah,
river pike.
they really go, don't they? Start tail walking, nothing like it. This is why I'm hoping I'm going to try a few plugs and spinners today. Because summertime is
This is it, yeah.
according to the textbooks anyway, is the recognised time for spinning, isn't it?
Yeah, they're all good takers on this river, you know,
Yeah.
plug spinners, live baits,
Yeah.
dead baits.
Here we are, John. You mentioned a moment ago live baiting, a very controversial subject at the moment. How do you feel about it?
Well, I use live bait mainly because it's the most consistent way of catching pike. Dead bait produces its fair share of pike, but no, I prefer to use live bait.
Yeah. Would it worry you though if live baiting were in fact banned? Because there are other methods when all said and done.
No, not really. You know, I wouldn't like to see it banned because I think everybody should have the opportunity to do what they wish to do.
And when all said and done, a pike is very much a predator, isn't it?
Yeah. It's an injured fish.
And you just let it run off down with the current?
Yeah. This is what we call a free roaming live bait.
Yeah.
The live bait's going to do the work. He's going to hopefully find the pike for me.
And your signal is literally going to be the float, is
Yeah.
it?
That float will really zoom away and take it under. That's set about 16 feet.
Yeah.
And we're fishing about 17 or 18 over here. So I'm fishing 18 inches off bottom.
Yeah. And now with a dead bait rig, are we talking about similar to spinning?
Yes, or you can present them on a float.
This is what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, especially like on a river, you can set them so they're running down, you know.
It looks as though Pete Raymond down there, another well-known big fish angler, he's into a pike at the moment by the look of it, isn't he?
Yeah, I think that's his second this morning.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. That'll be his second.
Any size to the first one?
About 8 to 9 pounds,
Yeah.
the first one.
That's small jack there.
Oh, very small fish. It's unusual for here.
John, I'd like you to show me how you fix up a dead bait rig for sink and draw fishing. What are we using? Roach, chub?
Small bait actually normally.
Yeah.
But you can use any type of fish on this rig.
It always amuses me that sea fish, for instance, mackerel, herring, they'll take pike in fresh water.
Well, it's just a lure, so type of lure again,
Yeah.
like, you know. Probably the smell, being a sea fish, oily smell.
Can you show me just exactly what the rig is then, John?
It's my own wire trace, I make them up myself. I suit the size of the hook to the bait I'm using. These are size 4s.
Yeah.
The second treble on the rig, I put into the top lip,
Yeah.
and the one treble into the bottom lip, like that, which is the casting, the hook hold.
Yes.
And then the first treble on the rig, I put into the dorsal fin, which is the one that does the damage on the pike.
And this, of course, keeps the fish on an
Yeah.
even keel on the
I'm
retrieve.
bringing it back now, it comes in
Yeah.
like an injured fish on the
And
retrieve.
sink and draw is literally as it sounds.
Yeah,
you let
sink
the
and
bait
draw.
sink,
Yeah.
then you draw it towards you, let it sink again.
Working the rod tip, twitching it,
Yeah.
giving it certain motions to imitate a fish that's in...
Yeah.
in
How do you know at what sort of speed to sink and draw? Is it different speeds for different types of water?
No, really. It's a very, very deadly rig actually for pike.
Yeah. Well, let's see you
It's
cast with it and we'll see what happens. And here, of course, if you hit a pike now, you're going to have quite a battle on your hands, aren't you?
Well, as I said earlier, these river pike, they really do motor.
Yeah.
They love anchor ropes. We've got both anchor ropes down, and when you get them to the boat, they usually,
I find trout always do this. Well, I'm going to have a go with a spinner. This is a big S. Have you known of many pike being taken on the spinner in this area?
Yes, quite a few actually. The salmon anglers who fish here take quite a lot.
Well, of course, they'd
nets
be
and-
more likely to spin, wouldn't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
And would you be talking about fishing deep with a spoon, or as I've got now, this is a floating plug, of course?
Yeah, well again, it's on the day, surface, put that pike on the surface, midway and on the bottom. But preferably I'd like to go down deep.
You'd like to go further down? So,
further down.
well, we did see as we were rowing up here a pike moving on the point, which suggests to me is probably on the surface, so let's see what we get over here. Are you in, John?
I think so, Norm.
Sound a healthy fish?
Yeah, I don't think it's that big, only a small one. It's only a babby this here, but they give up a good show. Hey.
Trying again.
Come on, up to them. Yeah, he's in. What else?
Small jack.
Small jack. Take 2. 2, 3. Nicely done.
Right. Unhook him, and he goes back safely to go a bit bigger.
This is the only trouble with
That
boat
came on the
fishing.
live bait, did it?
The sink and draw, did
That
they?
was the sink and draw, was it?
Old faithful. Come on inside. Fine. Better.
Well, you said the river fish are lively. They certainly are, aren't they?
Back to fight another day.
I think so.
There you go.
What a superb river the Severn can be. It's Britain's longest, rising on Plinlimmon way up in the Welsh hills and meandering through the Shropshire plain down to us here at Tewkesbury, the height of its tidal reaches. All the way there are fish aplenty to be caught, but perhaps none quite so exciting as the pike. You got another one, John?
Think so, no? Yep.
It's your day, isn't it? Right, let's at the ready. Oh, it's a fair fish too. Here she comes. That was
That's
nice,
it.
that was neat, that was sweet, and that was easy.
8 and 9 then?
It's got to be, hasn't it, John? Not as big as that one that you caught earlier, though.
Yeah, lovely.
He'll be going for me foot soon. Okay, there we are. As I said, not as big as that other one that you've had. Haven't they got them? Look at those teeth there. You get a real good idea of them there. What a
My
lure.
hand in there, no?
And it's very gently hooked there, isn't it?
It's more in the net, I think, no?
Yeah. At the moment it is, yeah. Lucky to land that one, I think.
Yeah.
Just the one barb holding.
Yeah, actually, it's holding in the
Yes, and this
landing net
here, isn't it?
itself.
Yeah. I think we're going to have to cut it.
Probably the best, I think, no?
Yeah.
The one there.
There he goes. I think we'll let that one go back, John.
Yes, lovely fish. Blows his rake. Down he goes.
Make for the deep water. Well, John, we've had a pretty fair day. The weather's been good anyway, if not too many pike, but I can't resist the temptation. I really want to have a look at that nice 20-pound plus that you had before we arrived. How about let's having a look at it? Did that come to live bait or dead bait?
A dead bite, no?
A dead bait again. That seems to have been the most successful method, doesn't it?
It has today, it's proved quite good.
Do you want a hand? Because a 20-pound is a big fish, isn't it? Why, it's a lovely looking fish, isn't it, that? That just shows the type of fish that does swim in our waters. It's magnificent. Of course, that'll be a female fish as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, female.
They say that the males only go to what, about 10, 12 pound maximum? Isn't it?
Yeah, the maximum.
Well, let's put her back in the water because she's only going to damage herself there, isn't she? Now, from a quiet river by way of a noisy motorway, let's go carp fishing. Well, Alan Lewis, we've got a beautiful day for it by the